Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Regular Beer Reviews, where regular doesn't refer to the beers being reviewed, but to the reviewer, myself. I'm Jesse, and tonight I'm going to be reviewing, I believe it's only my third beer from Cisco Brewers of Nantucket. This is their Whale's Tail Pale Ale. Now, I've had the Pumple Drumpkin, and I've had the Grey Lady. Now, I did a review on the Grey Lady, but those are the only two beers I've ever had from Cisco. So I am excited to try this. Humble Drumpkin obviously was a pumpkin beer, and the Grey Lady was I believe it was like a wheat beer or like a saison or something like that. It was some type of it was like a Belgian style wheat beer brewed with spices. I remember that one was overly spiced, but the Pumple Drumpkin was okay. I'm not a huge fan of spiced beers, but anyway, I've never had anything of this style from them, so I'm hoping it's going to be pretty good, and they really execute well here. Let's look at the numbers on this beer. Beer Advocate gives it an 83, which is good, and that's with 795 ratings. The Bros give it an 87, which is very good, and Rate Beer gives it a 47 overall with a 71 for the style. It has an ABV of 5.6%. It has a year-round availability. The style is actually an English pale ale, but it is brewed in America, so it's an English style pale ale. And I'm not sure what the IBUs on this are. And if you didn't know, Cisco Brewers Incorporated is out of Nantucket, Massachusetts. So yeah, let's go ahead and read the description on the bottle here. It says, this carefully crafted beer is brewed and bottled in small batches to ensure the freshest possible taste. Whale's Tail is an English-style pale ale characterized by an abundance of fruity hops. So it says fruity hops. I'm guessing it's, it's an English-style pale ale. I haven't had a lot of English pale ales. But the ones that I've had, they remind me more of like East Coast IPAs, more floral, and as it says, fruity in flavor, as opposed to the really kind of drier, more oily, citrusy, piney West Coast IPA. So anyway, let's go on ahead and get this poured. This isn't an IPA, actually. It's a pale ale, but both are very hop forward beers. So I do like Cisco. The artwork on their bottles, it's always so simple, yet it's elegant. Look at the whale's tail there. The Pumple Drumpkin, the picture on the front looked like it was drawn by a toddler, but there's something about it that just really pulled me in. So anyway, let's go on ahead and get an appearance on this beer. It has a nice, I'd say, one finger, maybe half finger head. It's like kind of an off-white, maybe beige color. Kind of frothy. It's actually dissipating pretty quickly. It's just, I can see patches of the beer through the head there. It's not very thick at all. Light to moderate amount of carbonation streaming up. It's not anything super heavy. It's a nice dark color, I'd say, medium amber. Kind of a copper red color. It's a nice looking beer. I'd say the color doesn't really remind me of pale ale, but hey, all things are different. So let's go on ahead and get into the smell on this one. I'm smelling a little bit of hops. Let me see. I didn't look for there's a code on the bottle. I don't see a freshness date. I am smelling slight hops, and yes, they do smell very fruity, very floral, almost like a bouquet. The fruits are, it reminds me of, is like maybe like pear, or like a like pear, kind of like a really juicy apple type thing going on, or slight hints of like grapefruit or orange. Little bit of citrusiness, but it's very floral, very robust. Just kind of bright floral smell going on there. Not really picking up on maybe a little bit of yeastiness. I'm not picking up on a huge malt profile. For the color, I'd expect to smell, caramel, toffee malts, but I'm not really picking that up on the smell. Just kind of a light, really fruity, really floral hop. So let's go on ahead and jump into this one. Oh wow, that's really good. That's good. As far as bitterness goes, again, I'm not sure what the IBUs are, but that is what I want an IPA to be. I mean a pale ale to be. I would expect this to be around 40, 45, maybe 50 IBUs, but even that's a little high. I'd say around 40, 45. Right up front, the hops, the bitterness stops about mid palate, and then you just get this kind of sweet finish, with a little bit of bready maltiness, maybe the slightest bit of like a toffee malt. It's not quite the caramel. It's like a toffee. It's got kind of that sweet zing that you get from toffee. Um, but it's like mid back of the palate, front of the palate though. It is floral. It is dry though for a floral hop. It's floral. It's fruity, citrusy kind of, but it is dry, even for a floral hop. It's got a good mouth feel. It's not really watery. It coats the mouth well. It's very refreshing for a pale ale too. I mean, this normally, like IPAs and pale ales, I think of as like fall beers. This would be a good this is a good summer beer. It's really hot outside. It's very refreshing. Excuse me. It's very refreshing, and this is a good beer. I do like this beer. And for being so dark in color, it has a really light, mild flavor. You know, for the color. If I see a pale ale that's this dark, it is very clear, so I'm guessing it is very well filtered. But normally when I see a pale ale that's this dark, I'm gonna expect it to be really rich and flavorful. A lot of times IPAs that are this color, um, are they're really packed with hops. Then again, I don't see a freshness date on the bottle, so chances are if you get this fresher, it might even be a little more bitter. The IBUs might register a little higher, but I think this is a good beer. It's certainly not complex, but it's very, very enjoyable. I love I love the hop flavors there. I love how it's fruity and it's floral, kind of citrusy, but then at the same time it's got a nice dryness to it, and it's certainly mild. I mean, this would go like really well. This is a pale ale that would go really well with like light foods. Like if you had a dish of like chicken, or maybe like a baked pork chop or something. Something like lights out on the side, or maybe even like a if you have fish like a heavier like salmon or something. This would go. It seems like it would go well with that. Because it is mild in flavor. It's nothing overpowering. It's nothing, super heavy. But at the same time, it's super refreshing. It's super enjoyable. You still get that really nice hop quality in there that makes it enjoyable. I mean, when I taste this, I can definitely, this is a pale ale. They certainly represent the style well. I think this is a good beer. I'm going to go ahead and give Whale's Tail Pale Ale. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I like this beer. I think it's a good beer. I would recommend that if you see Whale's Tail Pale Ale, pick it up. If for no other reason than it's just got an awesome name. A very Dr. Seussy feeling type thing. I mean, Whale's Tail Pale Ale. I mean, I bet it's hard to say 5 times fast. I'm not going to try, but, it's a fun name. And it's a good beer. So, again, 7 out of 10 for Whale's Tail Pale Ale from the Cisco Brewers of Nantucket. If you see it, I would certainly suggest picking it up. It's definitely sessionable, even if you're not a huge hop fan, because even though the flavors of the hops are there, it's very mild, it's very enjoyable, and at only 5.6%, it's only a tenth of a tenth of a percentage above, 1 point above, a Budweiser or something. So extremely, extremely sessionable and extremely enjoyable and drinkable. So if you see it, pick it up. Thank you for watching, and keep watching again in the future for more reviews. Prost.